What is up, everybody? The gurus are not going to like this episode. Welcome to Sales Stories in Real Life. Last episode of 2022, episode 23. This is the show where professional salespeople share their experiences about times that they were buyers and they were on the receiving end. Today, we've got an infamous guest here. Like I said, the gurus are not going to like this episode. He's the founder of Lead Magic. They help you to see who's on your website and then get into their primary inbox. Welcome to the show, Jesse Ouellette. Man, I don't even know where to start. You've got tremendous presence and you've got tremendous stories about how you got started with, your whole journey of helping people get into the primary inbox. Take it away.
Yeah, man. First of all, we all know those gurus. They're not going to like this episode, but hey, that's the way it is. They're still listening, though. They always listen. That's what's great about them. But either way, yeah, we started out, we were in sales, we were enterprise software, 3-4 million ARR type years. But then we moved on. We wanted to start building assets. We wanted to start accumulating wealth. And as a result, switched to more of a SaaS founder. Now stuff on my website. People are buying $10 newsletter subscriptions. People are buying $200 courses. And then they're also buying $249, kind of visitor identification for their website. Imagine a lead feeder where you can talk to me, work with me, then we can land you into that primary inbox. So that's what we've done. We pivoted. I didn't know how to code. I was technical, though. I won't lie. I knew a couple things about a couple things there, but we're going to get back to the inbox. We're going to get there and we're going to become the, we're going to get to 100 million really without any funding or any engineers, really, for the most part.
Love it, man. So tell us a little bit about how you identified the problem, right? Like where did it all start from?
Yeah. So it's funny. I was actually, when I was in companies, I always used to use I would always go to this one person in the company. They usually call them like the web director, the not ecom, but like kind of web manager. Like they'd always be the person that basically I always call them the person with access to WordPress log files. And what I realized is if you take those log files and you look at them close enough for long enough, you can figure out who's on your website and you can figure out what businesses are coming. There's ways to reverse the IP addresses, things like that. There's also ways to look at cookies. First-party cookies, you own the data. That's the great thing about the first-party cookie. You own it. It's your company's log files, right? So you don't have to worry about Google selling it back to you. Gurus won't like that, but you really have to think about that a little bit and, learn that's a really good source of information. If you're a sales rep and you're picking your territory, if you're the sales rep with all the log files sitting in your inbox, you're going to probably pick better than that person next to you. And that's what I was doing as a sales rep. And that's how I, was kind of a top performer at most of the companies I worked at without really doing a lot of, I didn't make a lot of cold calls. I'm sorry. I just kind of got a lot of inbound leads because I knew who was on the website and I would reach out to them in a very scientific, deliverable, non-spammy, relevant way. Right. And that's kind of where I got the idea.
The gurus are livid right now with all of this no cold calling talk and all this and that. So this is a blast. Let's talk about a time. I know you said you have some quote unquote pretty violent opinions on times when you were a buyer. Let's hear something.
Yeah. So now, and look, I'm not buying anything that I got to preface this a little bit. I don't have to buy any software that's like $10,000 a year yet, right? Like it's just nothing. We could probably run the entire business from Airtable at this point, Google Sheets, something like that with AppScript. But the point is that we're really seeing this kind of trend where getting on the phone with a salesperson. And look, I'm a salesperson. Like, and I ask people, they're like, well, you were from marketing. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I was an enterprise sales rep carrying as big of a quota as you've ever seen, okay? On Fortune 50 accounts, the Fortune 100, 500, whatever, Global 8,000, didn't matter where I went. I had to go find $1 million every year of, first of all, quota. Then, I was also looking for that $4 million of quota to make $1 million, right? And that's where I was. And I think what I'm realizing now is buyers really want nothing to do with sales, right? Or they want a salesperson, but they want this person to be an absolute expert, right? They don't want to get like, why can't the salesperson be the sales engineer too, right? Why can't they be the same person? So if I've got to get sales on the phone, oh man, salespeople have great salespeople make it a lot harder for other salespeople. And you want the expert, you want that, or you want somebody to help you navigate in the organization as fast as humanly possible. And you don't want to wait for approvals and all these things. I don't even waste my time anymore. If your demo's not on your website, if I can't log into your website, if it breaks, and look, I got problems with mine. I can't say I'm perfect. But let me tell you, you will have a hard time getting a salesperson on the phone at my company because we try to make every single thing incredibly easy for self-service usage, right? And it's really the credit card money, right? We're always looking for Wi-Fi money here. So I think that's kind of the way it is. And we really push hard to make it so you can get this self-service, seamless kind of interaction with our company.
I mean, that's very much the direction that a lot of companies are going in. Obviously, PLG is all the rage right now, and you guys are kind of smack down the middle of the plate with all of that being concerned. So that's a really easy segue into our B2B sellers that are listening to this, right? Like what's a takeaway that they could take away from this, right? Whether if it has to do with selling, whether it has to do with email, whether it has to do with both, like what would be the takeaways that you'd leave for them, Jesse?
Buyers love to buy. They just hate to be sold, right? That's an old word, old kind of motto. I think Todd Capone said it first, but you got to make it easy for them. I mean, I swear, anything in your company, but mow down the people who are making it hard in your company. Okay. If you can make it easy and you're there and you add a little bit of value, expertise, like go learn what you got to, if you have a sales engineer that's sitting there making $400,000 a year, or 250, $300,000 a year, go figure out a way to learn how to do their job too. Right. Like the buyer does not want to be transferred around the company. Right. I used to get my own outbound leads. I would get those and I would call those people. And I didn't need people that were if they filled out an ebook, unpopular opinion on this, but if they filled out an ebook, I didn't want to talk to them. I didn't want to waste time with people that were filling out ebooks. I didn't call MQLs back. My marketing team hated me for it, but I don't waste time with people that are doing that. That's just a waste of my time. Right. If they want to talk to sales, they're going to come in, they're going to violently try to get through your chatbot. They're going to be going through your contact forms. They're going to be on your website. I'm going to get to them, but what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to deal with people who are downloading ebooks, downloading all this, stuff. I'll put an ebook up for sale, right? You'll pay for the ebook because it'll be so good that you want to make sure that the actual book is relevant to that buyer. So anyways, I guess that's the thing is don't get in their way. They want to buy.
That's as good of a takeaway as there can be, especially because your competitor probably will let them buy without talking to sales. So if you sit around and make them wait too long, they'll really quickly find somebody else. So I think that's a great takeaway. I know the phrase is like, don't skate where the puck is, skate where the puck is going, right? Like this is the direction things are going in, right? Don't try to fight it, align with it.
Yeah, don't get in their way. Just stay out of their way. You get in their way and they're going to mow you down and they're going to go to your competitor. And I think a lot of companies right now are getting in their customers' way. Look, the days of like where if you're thinking that you're going to still run it, they want to buy it like they can buy like a B2C product, right? Now I understand there's setup. Here are the areas that I think like if you're a sales rep, you want to kind of move to a direction where you're in a company that has to deal with the areas that I see are security, governance, and operations. Okay. What I mean by that is if you're a sales rep and your product is integrated into Salesforce, but it's like, let's say it's Gong and it's like, you want to be there to make sure that they can get it integrated and the call recording and everything is all by, goes through the security and all that.
Right.
You need a sales rep there. Right. But if you're the person who's doing it where they're not integrating it with Salesforce and they're trying to have you sell it, or they're not integrating it with their operations and who can like governance for like who can actually listen to the calls. Like if there's no security, there's no governance and there's no operations and you're just there trying to pitch a product, God, that's going to be a bumpy road for you. So find something complicated. I also think there's something to be said about a lot of this MarTech stuff right now, I mean, be very careful, right? There's a lot of you and a lot of pirates that are coming out there for this kind of group. And what I mean by that is these companies are getting ripped off pretty quickly, right? Where is it a lot harder to get your product ripped off? It's a lot harder when you're selling like infrastructure software to engineers and IT and security, right? There's a lot more kind of stuff there. And the other area is if somebody has kind of a unique data set, which I mean, obviously that's where Zoom Info's kind of gone. Obviously their mobiles, but I mean, look, even that's having some challenges now with like the fact that, more people have the mobiles. It's not hard. You can verify the mobiles even for pretty much the same price. So this is where I think a lot of it's going. You just got to really make sure there's some kind of complexity of what you're selling. If that's your product that you're going to take out to the market, then I think you really want to say, hey, when you're on the sales, when you're interviewing for one of these jobs, like, can you pull up the dashboard with the quotas, right? Like I heard this from, I think it was Leslie or somebody on LinkedIn. It was a brilliant comment she made. But she basically said, hey, can you just, I think it was on TikTok actually. She said like, hey, I want to see this. I want to see the quota attainment of the team and have them pull it up live on the call, right? You're on a Zoom meeting, take advantage of it. Have them show you the dashboard. If they get a little weird about it, you can kind of read their body language. Like you're like every one of these, you're interviewing for it, but you're interviewing them just as well right now. I mean, the great reps never go on interviews and aren't interviewing the company more than the other way. That's one of the things that I would say take away right now.
That's such a good distinction. I mean, in the sales world, there's not a lot of talk of security, governance, operations, right? So this is a really great topic to get out there. Jesse, this has been a blast, man. You're a riot. Love your shtick. So why don't you take a moment here and plug something with the audience before we hop? I know you've got your whole course and everything that I'm actually working through right now and extremely excited to get finished up. So let's hear it.
Yeah, I think right now we've got the newsletter, right? That's going pretty well. A lot of people are subscribing to that, but there's also the course that I've just launched, the cold email operating system. What I've done here is set up some systems where what's unique about this system is it's using the fact that you can use this couple of things called one tactic that's really advanced that a lot of people aren't doing that saves you a lot of time and energy is something called inbox rotation. And what I do in the course is, unlike all the other cold email courses out there, you'll see them, they're kind of telling you more about the messaging and the audience and all that. But man, if you don't get that damn email in the inbox and that person, like you want to get a lot of like unsubscribes and violent, like, I don't want you to ever email me again, because that actually is the starting point of testing your message. But what I see right now is so many people are just out there sending as many sequenced emails and they're going right to the spam folder. This course really teaches you some tactics to evade the spam filters. And it teaches you how to use positive signals to do that. And that's one of the things that's in the course. It's a $200 course. It's not bad. It's priced accordingly. And we may even do some kind of holiday sales on it. But listen, let's get back to the inbox. Let's do that. Let's find out who's on your website so we can call and message those people. And let's just do a more kind of intelligent reach out to some of the people that might actually need your product and services instead of wasting everybody's time.
Love it. Love it. I'm in the course right now. I love it. I mean, there's nothing more valuable. I mean, if you think about it, than getting your email into the primary inbox. What use is the relevance? What use is the personalization if it goes right to the spam folder? Jesse, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for wrapping us out strong. 2022 of Sales Stories in Real Life. Thank you all so much. Take care.
I loved it. Thank you.